I got Ezekiel the 28th chapter. Let's go there. We have Ezekiel the 28th, and we're going to drop down to the 14th verse. And this is what we have. Listen. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. Thou wast upon the holy mountains of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. Now, for those who don't understand this, they're talking about the prince of Tyrus, who they said his spirit inside of him, he was puffed up, he was full of pride, which they would try to tie this to who they call Lucifer or the devil. Right here it's called the anointed cherub. All right? But it says that he, because we know all things were created by God. If you don't know all things was created by the creator of the Most High, if you don't know all things was created by God, you need to go back and figure that out too. So he was created by God too. Just like you and me. Just like your mama, your daddy, everybody. Whole world was created by the creator. That's why he's called the creator. Okay? Well, it says that he walked in the midst of the stones of fire. You can go to the book of Enoch and see the same thing. It'll say the same thing about walking through the stones of fire. Now, how is it that he can walk through the stones of fire? God created him. Because I took you from the lowest level plane when I just spoke to you about the 120s, peace to the gods of the earth, in knowledge. The sun knowledge is just like the sun is the very foundation of the solar system. And the sun is a big ball of fire. And if you understand that the sun is a big ball of fire, then you know those little stars, which is us, we ain't number little balls of fire too. We came from God. Okay? If that doesn't do it for you, the verse I read to tie that together was called Our God is a Consuming Fire. Okay? So therefore, why would they try to scare you with a fire? Because you came from God. This body will die, but you came from God. This fire that's inside of you gonna go right back to God. You can't kill God. That's what the scripture, that's what the teaching I did a couple days ago. Can you kill God? No, you can't kill God. All right? With that being said, it's gonna make sense, man. Trust me. It's gonna make sense. So God is a consuming fire. They can't kill God. So where did this story, where did this good old fairy tale, this good old fable of a place of fire come from? Where let's look at it. There was a word called Sheol, S-H-E-O-L. Sheol was equal to what we call the grave, meaning being put in the ground, or the pit, which still means being put in the ground, or Hades, which still means the underworld, or hell, which means being put into the ground and somebody throwing dirt on top of it. That's where the origin of the word come from. Now, to those that's into their Bible when they read, they had a place that was not too far outside of Jerusalem. This place was called Gehenna. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm hot. Got these lights on in here so I can get good lighting. But boy, I feel like a rotisserie chicken in here cooking. Oh no, we talking about hell, boy. I'm hot. Woo. And I'm having a nice warm cup of drink here. So, those that follow their Bible, that read their Bible, they've been coming up. They got a place called Gehenna, spelled with a G. That's Gehenna. Gehenna. It's a place near Jerusalem where they burn garbage and waste. And when I'm speaking of waste, I'm talking like dung from animals, beasts, people. But they ain't had no running water back then. So this is where they was burning that stuff at. So this place always had a smell. Foul smell. always dark. It's always burning. Listen. And that place was called Gehenna. All right. Now let's go to the Quran. In the Holy Quran, this place they speak of hell. Watch. It sounds just like Gehenna, but it's spelled with a J. That's Jahannam. 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 Jahannam is the name for hell in the Holy Quran. And it means a place of torment, a place of fire, a place of where angels whipping you and beating you. Man, listen. Why do all of these religions instill fear in you to follow it? Third eye open. Y'all better pay attention, man. Third eye open. Why do they push fear on you to follow it? All right? Now, like I said, I know I'm a little bit older than a lot of cats. There was a movie that came out in 1974. This movie was called A Burning Hell. Oh, I seen it. If you lived in my grandmama's house, oh, you seen it. You seen it. And they had a church that we went to, a church where they showed it every year. Every year. I mean, everything be going out good, man. Till you watch that movie, boy, you gotta leave the movie at night with this. You won't know if the devil gonna come out, you know, some fire gonna fall on you, boy. You don't know if God coming right there. That's torture, man. Now, and that came out in 1974. And since then they had plenty of movies. And the whole concept that we're trying to figure out tonight, I'm not trying to figure it out. I'm trying to help you figure it out because I understand. And it's okay. Your third eye gonna get open too. Gonna help you figure it out. What I'm gonna do is, let's see where it all came from or where it all originated from. Okay, let's see where we can figure that out. Can we find that out? Now, when I was about 11 years old, I think 11 or 12, I read a book called The Divine Revelation of Hell. This woman said she had a open vision when she went to hell. And I read that book at 11. Told me up. But where did that story, hell, come from? If you are a Christian, you should understand that the Roman Catholic Church, this is, don't be mad, it's just facts. Go into your history on the Roman Catholic Church. You'll find out they came up with all of this mess. All of this mess about a burning hell, a place of eternal torment and torture. Okay? Now, this is what I'm going to do. They had a story that was made, and the story was called Dante's Inferno. Some called it a divine comedy. Kind of sounds just like the story the lady wrote, A Divine Revelation of Hell. All right? So, this is what I got. From that Dante's Inferno, I'll read one page. I'll read page 15. All right? This is what I got. Let me put it on the screen for you. It says, yielding adjured his high estate, forthwith I understood for certain. This, the tribe of those ill spirits, both to God displeasing and to his foes, these wretches who never lived went on in nakedness, and sorely stung by wasps and hornets, which bedecked their cheeks with blood that mixed with tears dropped to their feet, and by disgustful worms was gathered there. And he's talking about the stuff he's saying to him. Listen. And by disgustful worms was gathered there. Then looking further onwards, I beheld a throng upon the shore of a great stream, where I thus, sir, grant me now to know whom here we view, and whence impelled they seem so eager to pass o'er as I discern. Now this is him talking to whatever beings walking him through hell. Kind of sound like the book of Revelation when the angel was showing John all this stuff. Pay attention, please. Focus. Open your third eye. You can see it, the truth in front of you. You can see it if you want. Don't be scared any longer. Listen to this. Then looking further onwards, I beheld a throng upon the shore of a great stream, whereas I thus, sir, grant me now to know whom here we view, and whence impelled they seem too eager to pass o'er, as I discern. Through the blare light, he thus to me in few, this shalt thou know, soon as our steps arrive beside the woeful tide of Acheron. Then with eyes downward cast and filled with shame, fearing my words offensive to his ears, till we had reached the river, I from speech abstained, and lo, toward us in a bark comes on an old man, hoary white, with old eld crying, woe to you, wicked spirits! Hope not ever to see the sky again. I come to take you to the other shore across, into eternal darkness, there to dwell in fierce heat and in ice. And thou who there standest, live spirits. Get thee hence, and leave these who are dead. But soon as he beheld, I left them not. By other way, said he, by other haven shalt thou come to shore. Not by this passage, thee a nimbler boat must carry. Then to him thus spake my God, Sharon, thyself torment not. So 'tis willed, where will and power are one. Ask thou no more. Straightway in silence fell the shaggy cheeks of him, the boatman, or the livid lake. Now he was talking about a lake of fire, and this boatman, they had to take him across, and these spirits, and I don't even know how the hell they used to talk like that, but I'm able to understand that mess. He just explaining to him everything that's going on in the world of the dead, and this is what he's saying. You read the book of Enoch, it goes somewhat similar the same way. You read the book of Revelation, it goes somewhat similar the same way. And you see all little parts of that stuff all throughout the Bible. And I read a good majority of those scriptures talking about that place of torment. See? And this is something, whoever wrote Dante's Inferno, a lot of stuff they said they got from the Roman Catholic Church, the punishments they was doing to the people during the time of when they was taking over and everything, the Crusades and stuff like this, right? Now, if you're not familiar with Dante's Inferno, what they did is they made they even made in 2010 they did anime for it. I watch anime to this day. To this day, I watch anime. To this day, I'm gonna keep watching anime. You hear me? But they did Dante's Inferno. 2010 they did it. And then they did Dante's Inferno, I think, in 2007. Okay? Now, the one I'm talking about is the 2010 version, where when they show Dante, they show him with a cross across his chest, right? That cross, they got it like tattooed across his skin, across his whole chest. Well, like I try to explain to you, a lot of the stuff that they was putting into this anime and into the actual story, Dante's Inferno, where it's supposed to be like 9 different realms of hell. If you go and read in the Holy Quran, where they talk about Johannam had like 7 levels. Watch this. Johannam sounds like Gehenna, which was a place outside of Jerusalem where they was burning waste and trash. They had no need for it to be burnt. Smelly, stinky. Nobody wanted to be around. Now, how did they come up with this story? If you see Dante's Inferno, the 2010 version, he's got the cross across his chest and he's going through hell. Somebody's guiding him through hell. Well, you go back to the real Roman Catholic Church. They had some people that wore crosses across their chest. They was called the Crusaders. Okay? I want you to understand, I don't make these videos to offend. I don't make these videos to make anybody feel small. The Most High opened my eye, and I'm here to open everybody's eye. Whether you be a Christian, whether you be a Muslim, whether you be a Hebrew, whether you be a Buddhist, whether you be a 5%er. Here to open your third eye, bring it back to truth. Get rid of that fear. That fear came from the Roman Catholic Church. This was their job. This is what they have always pushed, fear. Now, let's get to the Knights Templars. What was the Knights Templars doing for the Roman Catholic Church? I'll put it on the screen for you. Here we go. It says the Knights Templars were a military religious order. Only time you need a military is when you're going to war or when you're fighting. That's a fact. The Knight Templar was a military religious order during the medieval period. Why is it called medieval period? Because there was a lot of evil going on. Okay? There was a lot of evil going on. Their primary functions were to protect, listen, their primary functions were to protect Christian pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land and to engage in military campaigns. It was to engage in military campaigns in support of the Crusades. Now, there's a lot of stories about what they say about the Crusaders. Some people say the Crusaders was robbers that went into a lot of the Holy Land, robbing and taking and stealing. This is just rumors. Right. This is why Vatican City got a whole bunch of stuff that you'll never see that's in them catacombs, right? That part. See, you see how truth is right in front of your face and it's hard to deny that? Listen, they also developed into, talking about the Knight Templars. Listen what happened. They also developed into a powerful banking and financial institution, managing significant wealth and property. Because see, there was a time, if you go look up the Roman Catholic Church and their history, when Rome wanted something that you had and they say the church wanted it, they would take it, your land, everything. And if you didn't give it up, they took your life. Go study and see that. Listen, key roles and activities: pilgrims, protection. The initial purpose of the Knight Templars was to safeguard Christian pilgrims traveling to and from the Holy Land, particularly Jerusalem. All right. Military actions. They participated in military campaigns during the Crusades. I told you they was going to war. Acting as a key fighting force for Christian forces in the Holy Land. And to them, whatever the Christian was, whatever the church told them to go do. They was ruthless. All right. Drop down. It says land management. The Knight Templars, they accumulated vast wealth in the form of land, I just told y'all that, and property, managing estates and businesses. See, it helps to study. I just read this to you in the 120. Knowledge, baby. If you don't know this, you don't know this. You moving in faith, and we moving in facts. It's a difference. We moving in real love because we telling you the truth, and you moving in fear because you scared that Christ or somebody's supposed to come back or you're going to be thrown into hell. Don't you know you're going through hell every day? You worried about burning. Yeah, we burning too. We burning for our ancestors. You see it. And we're going to keep burning. That's the only thing we're going to do. We ain't worry about nothing else. Might burn some food on my stove if I ain't paying attention. Might burn some food on my grill if I'm doing something else instead of focusing on my steak, how I want it. Because it's going to be done. Don't nobody eat no blood. Anyway. Here we go. Political influences. We still talking about the Knights Templars. All right. The Templars wielded considerable political and economic power. Listen. The Templars wielded considerable political and economic power, often acting as advisors to European monarchs and influencing political decisions. They influenced political decisions. The Templars worked on behalf of what we call the church, the Roman Catholic Church, or the Pope and all of them. Okay? And they influenced political decisions. So anything you read about in the Bible about a burning hell, guess what? It was influenced and pushed through that Roman Catholic Church. Now, maybe you want to fight against it because you sided with it and you don't know that, but you better come to the truth now. You better come to the truth now. And with that being said, it says, in essence, the Knights Templars were warriors, monks who combined, listen, the Knight Templars was warriors, monks who combined religious devotion with military prowess and financial acumen. So, they was fighters, they was monks, meaning they would stay up in a mountain somewhere. They'll be there. You wouldn't even know they was Templars. They was just there. And they combined religious devotions, right, with military prowess. These people, these cats was like SEALs. High-trained military. Boy, they put in work. So that means they had their hands in some of everything. The church pushed them. And when I say church, I'm talking about the Roman Catholic Church. So anything you read or anything you heard about a burning hell, it came from the church. Listen, the essence. The Knights Templars were warrior monks who combined religious devotion with military prowess and financial acumen. Okay? And that's what I have on that part. Let me make sure I got everything for you. They always gonna tell you about a place of torment, place of fire, place of people being cast into hell. It's fear to keep you in control. And there was certain levels in the Dante's Inferno story, certain levels of hell. Now listen what it says. In Dante's Inferno, right? It says in Dante's Inferno, the first part of the Divine Comedy, that's what they call it, is a literary work rooted in Christian theology. Let me read that again. Dante's Inferno, the first part of the Divine Comedy, is a literary work rooted in Christian theology, particularly Catholic beliefs about the afterlife. But it's not considered an official or definitive theological text by the Catholic Church. They're going to say that. But Dante's Inferno was wrote off of everything that the Catholics really believed in, or what the Catholics wanted to push. Fear. So they could control. How else was Rome able to rule? Come on, man. Y'all can't be that slow. Listen. It's not considered an official or definitive theological text by the Catholic Church, while it draws heavily on Catholic concepts of sin, punishment, and the structure of hell. And it ain't talking about hell like being in the ground with dirt on it, like Hades or the pit. It's talking about a place of fire, because this is where they came up with it. Listen, Dante's own imagination and interpretations play a significant role, leading to some divergences from strict church doctrine. What strict church doctrine? The Roman Catholic Church. And this is why when they did Dante's Inferno, they came up with Dante being a Templar. But that's neither here nor there. Let's read on. I want to go and read up on what the Quran says about, what the Holy Quran says about hell, or Jahannam. Spelled with a J, Jahannam, Jahannam. Listen, in the Quran, pay attention, this is off of Google, I put it on the screen. In the Quran, hell, known as Jahannam, is described as a place of fire and torment. See, it ain't just in the Bible. We in the Holy Quran now. It's described, right? It's described as a place of fire and torment, a consequence for those who reject faith and commit evil deeds. It's for those who reject the Quran or the followings of Muhammad. Listen, let's keep reading. It's depicted with vivid imagery of scorching flames. Wow. Boiling water and agonizing punishments, serving as a warning to humanity. The Quran emphasizes that hell is a place of eternal suffering for many, particularly for those for disbelievers. Though some interpretations suggest it may be temporary for certain Muslims. So if it was temporary for certain Muslims, then it'll be just like, now this is the Holy Quran, but it sounds just like what they're saying over here in what they say, the Holy Bible. Over here by the Roman Catholic beliefs, if they didn't make it all the way or they didn't have the penance to pay, right? The priest, they got stuck in the middle, which they call that purgatory. Over here, they say it's temporary. Thought it was a place for eternal fire. It's the same, man. Listen, it was fear. Listen, here we go. Here's a more detailed look at the Quran's depiction of hell. Listen, a place of fire. The Quran frequently portrays Jahannam as a place of intense fire with descriptions of flames that crackle and roar, boiling water and scorching winds. Listen, various names for the place that they call hell in the Quran. The Quran uses different names for hell, including Jahannam or Jahim. I'm glad I ain't named my child that. Blazing fire. Listen. Zaire, ignited fire. Sakar, intense heat. And Hawaya. Hawaya, a deep drop. Hawaya means a deep drop. Listen. So it's a place that you're going to throw you in, or you can fall and keep falling forever, like the abyss in the Bible. See, watch, it's going to make sense. It says punishments. This is in the Quran. These are what the Quran describes about a place called hell, a burning fireplace. Listen, those in hell will face various torments, including drinking boiling water, being struck by angels, and eating from the tree of Zakum, which is likened to the heads of devils. Eating raw, dead flesh. Wow. This is what they describe hell as in the Quran, the Holy Quran. Listen, the Quran uses the descriptions of hellfire as a means to warn people about the consequences of disbelief and disobedience. So if you don't believe in what we're talking about, we're going to scare you with hell. You don't want to obey because it's disbelief and disobedience. If you don't obey what we're saying, we're going to tell you about stories of hell to scare you. Listen, this is what they did. Encouraging them to turn towards righteousness. Encouraging them to turn towards the Quran. Encouraging them to turn towards the Bible. It's a control mechanism. Because God haven't given his children the spirit of fear, but of love, peace, and a sound mind. So while all your scriptures you pushing fear. Third eye open, people. Listen to me. While hell is primarily a place for disbelievers, some interpretations suggest that Muslims may also experience punishment in hell for a period before being admitted to paradise. So, what I want you to see is this. If they can put it in the Quran that they will have to experience hell before reaching paradise, what does that mean? The true story of hell is when you're here on this earth, you're going to go through hell. You're going to have hard times that's going to feel like hell. What do you mean? Ask women who went through a bad divorce, was that hell for them? Ask parents who have to deal with disobedient children, was that hell for them? Ask people who have to work a job where they boss is full of shit. Ask them, is that a hell for them? Ask a person who has to live from check to check, is that hell for them? And I can continue. Or in the words of my great ancestor, my forefather, he's a God, whether y'all know it or not. Just like every one of them on the walls is a God, just like you are God. In the words of the great Dr. Khalid Muhammad, if it's cold in your house and you ain't got no heater, you cold as hell. If you hungry and you ain't got no food, you hungry as hell. All right? So if they can tell you about a Muslim being tormented for a period of time before he admitted into paradise, and you know paradise is supposed to be heaven, what are they actually saying? They're saying when you go through this life, it's going to be rough as hell. But if you continue to do right, you'll make it on to whatever they call the promised land. And if you read in the Bible, when the so-called story of Christ, when he was hanging on the cross and one of the thieves said this, and he said, just forgive me. He said, the day you shall be with me in paradise, which is supposed to be heaven. Huh? Because when he was in the story, he was going through hell. Come on, man. You mean somebody whooping you, making you carry this big thing, they nailing you in the head? That's hell. That had to hurt like hell. Y'all, you better use some common sense and wake up. So, with that being said, want to make sure I covered all bases. And I think I covered all bases. They can't kill you. They can kill your body. You came from God. God is a consuming fire. Guess what? Deep within you, there's a fire. How you know that? That's why you get heartburn. Bow! I had to make you laugh. Come on, man. Y'all loosen up. Stop being so stiff. Get the truth in you and learn how to loosen up. You think because you supposed to be saved or you supposed to be Christian, you got to walk around like this? Man, your damn neck probably hurting. Walk around like this all the damn time. Hell wrong with you. Better loosen up and come to the truth. Pray that God open up your third eye. So, with that being said, I'll leave you with this. Hell is a place called the grave, Hades, where they dig a hole and they put you in it and they throw dirt on top of you. Ain't a place of no burning fire. God is a consuming fire. And if he's the bigger consuming fire, guess what you are? You're a smaller consuming fire. All right? Remember, the biggest, largest ball of fire in the atmosphere that brightens everything, and you're one of them small stars that brightens too, because the sun ain't nothing but a little star. And that's in the atmosphere, that's in the stratosphere, that's out there in the galaxy. But when you bring it back to the low level plane that we are on, we come from God, who's the biggest. So that makes us little gods. And you can't kill God. God is a fire. You are fire. And all the thing they try to do is use fear to control you. You better shake that fear off of you. Break loose from that mess, because God haven't given his children the spirit of fear, but of love, peace, and of a sound mind. Third eye open. All right? I hope I sparked the flame in you. Hope it make you go and open these books up, study history, study the Quran, study the Bible, study any religious literature or scriptural literature you want to read, and read with the understanding of what you read. Okay? Let's shake this fear off of us. Stop being scared of burning up. The only thing you should be scared of is burning something in your kitchen or, burning something on your grill. All right? With that being said, hey, man, take care of yourself and take care of each other. Until next time. Subscribe.